All right, welcome to the Teacher Performance Overview for our TEI presentation. So what is teacher performance? Well, it's going to be the largest portion of your evaluation. It's tied, of course, to your strategic compensation, your career advancement, and of course, how you view yourself professionally, as he read from the slide. All right, so moving forward, there's only one major change for any returning teacher, is that for all teachers, you will now only get four minimum spot observations. So, can a principal walk into your class anytime? Of course, they're your principal, but they no longer have to do 6 or 8 spots for new or progressing teachers. It's now just 4 across the board. So a couple of things. Your spot observations, they will be required to give you feedback within 2 working days. These inform your summative evaluation, but they are not averaged within your summative evaluation. So let's say on your very first spot, you just get all 1s across the board. Remember, we're rated 1, 2s, and 3s on every category. Let's say you get all 1s across the board. That is not necessarily going to translate to your summative evaluation. On your next spot, you could get some 2s. On your next spot, you could get some 2.5s and some 2s. And, by your final spot, you could get all 3s. Well, you'd be able to point at all your spot observations in your summative and say, look, I've grown throughout this year. Here's your own evidence supporting my growth. And you could make the case that for your summative evaluation, you deserve all 3s. All right, so your spots do not count necessarily towards your summative evaluation. You will have one 45-minute extended observation. Once again, this does not necessarily count towards your summative evaluation, but it will be used to inform that. The written feedback is required within 10 working days. And look, principals are busy. If they don't give you the feedback immediately, don't take it personal. Just shoot them an email. Say, hey, when would we like to schedule a meeting for my feedback from my spot? Or, hey, when would be a good time for you to schedule a meeting for my review of our extended? Just be polite in asking that, and don't take it personal. If they forget, just reach out to them. You can get informal spots at any time, of course. Now, all these things inform your summative evaluation. Your summative evaluation will be given for most of you towards the end of the year. And you'll sit down with your appraiser. You'll go through each kind of category in the rubric, which we're about to discuss, and they'll rate you on 1, 2s, and 3s. So in your spots, you can get half points, like 2.5s or 1.5s. However, remember, for your summative, you only get 1, 2s, or 3s. All right, moving forward. The summative evaluation, it's a reflection of your growth through all 4 domains, soon to be covered. And the best thing I can tell you is document, document, document. All right? You want to be able to provide evidence in your summative evaluation for all the things that you believe make you a 3 or an exemplary teacher. Now let's kind of look at those domains. So we have domain 1. You can kind of read through yourselves, but this is basically going to be you outside the class. What's your level of content expertise? Your lessons, how student focused are they? Your assessments, are they are you tracking your data? Are these assessments aligned with the district? Are they aligned with the TEKs? Okay, and of course your lesson resources, lesson structures. Now I want to say this about domains 1 and 4. These are actually weighted less than domains 2 and 3. And domains 2 and 3 are going to be basically everything inside the classroom. All right, and we can look at an example here in just a moment. But domain 2 is essentially going to be, how are you as a teacher? How are your students performing? What level of mastery are they demonstrating? What's the level of rigor in your classroom? And domain 3 is going to be more so your systems in the class. Do you have efficient, organized systems? What are your behavioral expectations? If the principals see a student begin to act out in your class, they'll be looking for, how do you redirect that student back to being on task? And what's your overall climate and culture? Do students feel comfortable being in your class? Do you have an open, nice, easy environment? Now, domain 4 is going to be more or less, how well do you comply with school policies? Do you have good attendance? How do you communicate with parents? all these things go into domain 4. And once again, I cannot stress this enough, domain 2 and domain 3 are weighted more heavily. I'm going to include the actual TEI rubric in a link below this one. But here's just kind of one quick example. You have the indicator descriptor up here at the top. And the way that it was described to me in our TEI training is that everything that you want to look for, you want to live over here in the left, where it says a list of essential teacher skills and actions. This is where you want to really focus on. And when you focus on these things over here on the left, it's over here on the right that you want to kind of look at these skills and actions through the wording over here for exemplary, proficient, progressing. Another thing I want to say is, let's say your principal stops in and they view 10 minutes of your 90-minute lesson. They, for some reason, you might have bad luck, they might view the worst 10 minutes. Make sure that you're always going to your spot observations with evidence from your lesson plans that you're living in this exemplary category. All right, you want to have this printed out and you want to have this beside you at all times so that you know you're teaching to this level of the things that the principals are looking for. Okay. Lastly, if you need any support, you can look at the self-reflection professional learning opportunities in the TEI resources. I'll link that down below as well. And the main thing here is make sure that you are getting the TEI twice a month newsletter. If you're not getting that, just email me at whastings@dallasisd.org. We can make sure we get you signed up. All right, thank you all.